my name is Anya and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm going to chat about how my first month on a no-buy has been. I haven't purchased any makeup at all so far in 2020, and I mean, the short story of it all is that it went pretty much exactly as expected for the first month. It was easy. There wasn't really anything that tempted me. I have been keeping a running wish list on my laptop where I've essentially put down everything that I absolutely would have bought if I had not been on a no-buy, as well as the items that have been tempting but that I might not have necessarily purchased. I mean, as I said, it's been easy. I went into this year doing a no-buy with the mindset of my makeup collection is too big and the easiest way to shrink it is going to be to not add anything to it. So that's what I'm going to do. And so far it's been going perfectly fine. I don't necessarily go looking for new releases. I have a very small selection of brands that I find interesting and that pretty much tempt me with most things that they release. There's a hair in my mouth. Those brands at the moment for me are Linda Hallberg Cosmetics, they are Cliona Cosmetics, Sydney Grace, Colourpop, and sort of NYX, but only sort of. And that's that. And the only thing that I have on my wish list so far, and I know the month isn't over but I don't anticipate anything being added here, is from Cliona Cosmetics. The only thing I would have bought would have been a whole lot of their stained glass collection when they had their sale last Tuesday. And I know that chances are I would not have been able to get everything because I know things sold very quickly. But that's, in honesty, the only thing that tempted me was some of the existing shades, most of them in the Jewel multi-chrome line, as well as a lot of the new shades, and I can't wait to eventually try some of them because I have a feeling some of these items I might not feel as passionate about in a year, but I have a feeling for some of them, depending on how I get along with the ones I have, because I have currently got 6 Cliona stained glass shadows and I made a video on 3 of them. I think it went up last week. It's going to be down in the description box and up in the cards if I can remember. I like the idea of a multi-chrome. I'm not very good at using them yet. I haven't really figured out the best way to showcase the multi-chrome switches and the colours, but I'm working on it. But this last week or earlier this week I also ended up getting 3 more of the stained glass as well as one of the other shadows that I ordered late December in the mail. These 3 are my existing ones. So I have Sunblast, Torch and Blaze. Then I have my 3 new ones. This is Trefoil. Maybe you can see. I think that's foiling and that's stencil, and this is from the, I think it's 66.5 degrees north collection. It's Ice Algae. I think it's Ice Algae. And I've never seen a shade like that, so I bought it and I really like them. And some of the newer, because I know Cliona released, this is going to be like a hype video for Cliona Cosmetics. I have fallen in love, what can I say? Some of their newer formulations, because they released some newer stained glass formulations, I cannot wait to get my hands on. There is one shade in particular from the Vibrant multi-chrome one in Throne, which is a yellow. And if you don't know, I love wearing yellow eyeshadow. I don't do it all that often because my go-tos are sort of this tone, sort of warm browns, but I love wearing yellow. It's just such a happy colour for me to wear, and that colour looks amazing and I want it in my life. If I had not been on a no-buy, there would have been 18 shadows added to my life. It's a lot, considering my current rate of finishing shadows is about 3 years per shadow. It's a lot. As I said, I don't think all of them would have actually ended up in my collection because I have a feeling I wouldn't have been able to get all of them before they sold out. And 15 of them would have been stained glass shadows in various formulations. And then the Koala Charity Bundle is also the one I wanted. That was something that really tempted me when they first showed pictures of that in the beginning of January. I was just like, Be Still My Heart. I want that so badly. I'm gonna have a look in my collection. I haven't sat down and done this yet, but I'm gonna have a look in my collection for shadows that are similar, because I don't think I can actually dupe any of the shades, which is kind of what drew me in. But I also think I probably have some shadows that do look kind of similar. I would have spent a lot of money. I have a list of not just the items and the shade names and the brand and everything, I also have the value of the item. And my plan is sort of to, every month, at the end of the month, if I have the money in my bank account, if that hasn't been spent on bills, on food, or other stuff, I'm gonna transfer the amount of money I would have spent on the makeup that I know I would have bought into my savings account. Currently for January, that is 1,882 NOK, not including the shipping. It's 275 Canadian dollars. Chances are I probably wouldn't have bought all 18 shades at once, because that's a lot of money to spend at once. I would have most likely ended up picking up the Koala bundle and then maybe another shade in one purchase, and then maybe made another one to try and avoid paying import tax, because I thought that rule was going to be from the 1st of January. It's apparently not implemented on makeup until April 1st. Outside of being, there's like 20 plus shades of the stained glass collection that I wanted. I ended up narrowing some of them out. So I have some that are on the list of I like them. I would like to add them to my collection eventually, but I wouldn't have bought them right there and then. And then there's one item that is not Cliona Cosmetics that made its way onto my wish list as an item that I maybe would have bought, and it's from Colourpop. Not surprising. It's the Nude Mood palette, and it's my kind of palette. It's warm tones, it's browns. I would have used the crap out of that, and I know that, but I also know I have shadows very similar to it in my collection already, and a video that I'm planning on putting out. I don't know if it's going to be next week, the week after, but I'm going to dupe the vibes. I'm going to dupe the vibes of the Colourpop Nude Mood palette with my already existing shades. Most likely I'm going to try and do it all from my singles and probably put it into this little palette here, and then I'm going to have a play with that next month, most likely, just to see how I feel. I do know I absolutely would have used the palette. The colours are straight up my alley. I absolutely would have used them. But I also know I already have a lot of shades that look like that, and I don't need to add 9 more. So instead of buying it, I'm going to dupe it with my already existing collection, and I'm actually kind of excited for that, because watching Hannah Louise Poston doing the whole duping the vibes palettes for different palettes last year made me want to do the same, and I haven't done it yet, but I'm excited for it. It was an easy month to not buy anything, because I already have a lot. I also spent, and I'm still struggling here, most of the month being sick. I got sick right after Christmas with some sort of respiratory virus. It's fun, it is not fun at all, and my body is still recuperating, so that's the joy of having a chronic illness. You're going to be sick for months. I hope to feel better soon, and I haven't worn as much makeup this month as I would have liked to, because along with not buying anything, my goal this year is also to try and use everything I own, as well as finish a lot of items. And I have finished some, not surprising at all, because the ones I finished had very little product in them. I actually have also decluttered my first makeup item, which feels good, because it was an item that I tried using it and I looked like a splotchy orange. It was not good. You're gonna hear about that in the empties video next week. It was just, I'm really struggling a bit with my makeup, because I have so much that it just feels overwhelming. And I'm really happy that I took on the challenge of doing a no-buy, because I think had I not sat down with those uncomfortable feelings of I have too much, how on earth am I gonna be able to use all of this, I would have kept buying. And I don't want to just aimlessly add to my collection anymore, because it gives me anxiety, and I hate being anxious. I hate that whole feeling, because it triggers my anxiety. it triggers panic attacks. And I absolutely do not want that to happen anymore. And makeup might seem like a shallow thing to trigger anxiety for, but what triggers anxiety and panic attacks don't always make sense. But I know, looking at my overwhelming collection of makeup and getting to the realisation that I'm not going to be able to use all of it, is sort of both really comforting to know that I have too much. I'm not physically, no matter how hard I try, going to be able to use up absolutely every single thing. But it also brings the anxiety up for those, why have I then bought so much? What was I thinking? Why did I bring so many things into my life that now don't cause me joy anymore? So I think the year is going to be interesting in terms of the no-buy. I think I might end up hitting some rough spots. I anticipate in a couple of months that I might end up feeling a little bit stuck, but that can be equal parts just me constantly being overwhelmed with my makeup collection as I try to get through it, and brands potentially releasing stuff that I want. But I learnt last year that I never go looking for new releases. If I see something online, whether it is Instagram or YouTube, that pique my interest, it piques my interest. And I mean, most of the time that's all it does. I will go, that looks nice, that's pretty, but it doesn't really do anything else for me. There's not a whole lot of items that I've gone, I need that in my life. That would bring me however much joy it would bring me. I think in general, doing a no-buy, because my rules are what they are, it's going to be easy. But I also think if I become overwhelmed with my makeup collection and or other health problems, we might hit a bit of a roadblock. I have zero plans on buying anything into my makeup collection that breaks any of my rules. I anticipate having to buy some makeup, and for some items I look forward to replacing them because it means that I use them and love them, and that's really it. Other than me ranting half the video about how much I really want to try more of the clearer shadows, hasn't really been anything else that has captured my interest as much as those have done, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with buying less. I'm fine with buying nothing. I'm fine with wanting them, at least for now. Well, if I buy them in the future when my no-buy ends, I don't know if I will buy anything. I don't know if anything that ends up on this wish list throughout the year will be bought in a year when the no-buy is over. I have no idea. I anticipate some of it might be, if it's still available. I'm looking at the Clearness Stained Glass shadows because if I keep being so intrigued by them and I keep using and loving the shades that I have as much as I can anticipate myself doing, I will buy some. But for now, I'm not gonna say I'm content in my bubble of not buying anything, because I'm not. I am anxious for the rest of my makeup collection. I'm struggling with using my makeup collection in a way that feels, how do I explain it? Right now I'm sort of in that place where using and doing my makeup doesn't bring me that much joy. A lot of the time it's just doing it so that I can cross more items off the list of items being used, finish some items. I have sort of hit a spot where it doesn't bring me as much joy as it used to, and I feel a little bit so-so about that feeling. I mean, I spend most of my days without makeup. I wear makeup maybe 3 times a week, so the fact that my makeup collection is as big as it is, someone should have stopped me a long time ago, and that someone should have been me. But I've dug myself this hole, and now I have to try and figure out a way to make peace with it and I have sort of made peace with it in terms of the fact that I know I'm not going to be able to finish everything. Some of it is going to have to go in the bin because I don't like it. I'm still learning to be okay with the feeling of decluttering stuff I don't use, because that still doesn't sit right with me. I'm still struggling a little bit with that. But I think this project is a good project to do, and I think I started it when I should have done it. I mean, I was contemplating doing one last year. I'm glad I didn't, because I think it would have been very different. I can't really say if it would have been better or worse. I think it might have been harder for myself. It might have brought more anxiety. I don't know, but I'm happy that I started it this year, and this video has gone on longer than I expected. I was literally planning on going, I didn't buy anything, it was easy, here are the stuff that I wanted, and that was going to be it. But sitting and thinking about it and sort of just dwelling on it, it brings out thoughts and emotions that for a lot of the time I subconsciously suppress. A lot of the anxious feelings and all of that, I don't like them. And I mean, it's the point. I don't like them. I don't want them there. It's fine being anxious once in a while, but I can sort of feel it coming back to the point where it was when I had panic attacks multiple times a week and really struggling. I can see how it can get back to that point, and I don't want to. So I'm trying to figure out how I can get what I want, how I can wear my makeup in a way that is fun, in a way that's not, I don't know, anxiety inducing is the wrong word, but it feels like a chore, and I don't want my makeup to feel like a chore. I fell in love with makeup because it gave me something to do when my body wasn't cooperating. I still feel that way. It's still a large part of why I enjoy it. But makeup is also fun because there's so many colours and textures to play with. So I don't know. I have no idea what this philosophical stuff at the end was about. But I do feel anxious about my makeup collection, and I do want it to shrink. And I do know, I mean, the fastest way to have it shrinking would be to throw shit away. I don't want to do that unnecessarily. I want to try and use stuff. That's what I'm doing. It takes so long. And I feel fine about not buying makeup. I think I currently feel fine about wanting it. I feel fine about looking at it, liking videos, making imaginary wish lists. Well, it's not really an imaginary wish list, I've made the list. Imaginary list of what I would have bought is the word that I should have used. I feel fine appreciating it from afar, and I hope that feeling is going to continue, because it's going to be an interesting year, I think. Going from spending thousands and thousands and thousands on makeup every single year to restricting myself to now completely, well, I say completely cutting off, I'm allowed to buy certain things. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be good for me, but it's going to be interesting to see how I feel about this in a couple of months' time. It's going to be interesting to look back in a year and see how things have changed. But thank you for watching this video. If you sat through that whole rant in the middle there, much appreciated. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!